For most of our lives, we've been told the same thing. Pick one thing, specialize, stay in your lane, choose a major, choose a career, and choose a single path. But something interesting is happening right now. In the age of artificial intelligence, the rules that shaped careers for the last century might be changing. Hi, my name is Yoshi. I'm a designer, marketer, and investor who spends a lot of time thinking about the intersection of psychology, technology, and finance. I also write about these ideas on Medium, where I explore how different disciplines connect. And for most of my life, I've been curious about many different things like design, psychology, technology, investing, and creativity. For a long time, that felt like a weakness. School systems tend to reward specialization. Career advice usually tells you to pick one thing and go deep. But the more I started working with AI tools, the more I realized something surprising. The rules might be shifting. For most of the last century, specialization made perfect sense. The industrial world needed predictable roles. Factories needed workers performing very specific tasks. Companies organized themselves around narrow expertise. Engineers engineered, marketers marketed, and designers designed. The deeper your expertise in one narrow skill, the more valuable you became. But that system had one important assumption. Human productivity was limited by time and technical skill. Artificial intelligence is starting to change that. Today, AI can assist with tasks that previously required years of training. Writing, coding, research, data analysis, even design. This doesn't mean expertise disappears, but it does change where the bottleneck is. The bottleneck is no longer just execution. The real bottleneck becomes thinking, understanding systems, connecting ideas, and asking better questions. And this is where the story starts to get interesting. Because when execution becomes easier, the people who can see connections across different domains suddenly become much more valuable. And that leads to a new question. What happens to generalists in a world powered by AI? That's what we'll explore next. When artificial intelligence starts assisting with execution, something interesting happens. The value shifts away from pure technical skill and towards something else, understanding systems, seeing patterns, connecting ideas across fields. And this is exactly where generalists suddenly gain an advantage. People who explore multiple domains often develop something powerful. They develop pattern recognition across fields. They start seeing connections between things that normally live in separate boxes: psychology and technology, design and marketing, finance and data, creativity and automation. And interestingly, most innovation happens exactly at those intersections. A designer who understands psychology creates more persuasive products. An investor who understands technology recognizes emerging industries earlier. A marketer who understands data builds stronger systems. AI doesn't remove this advantage. It amplifies it. Instead of needing to master every technical detail yourself, you can collaborate with intelligent tools, which means the most valuable mindset begins to shift. The old world rewarded narrow specialists. The emerging AI era may reward people who can connect multiple domains and orchestrate powerful tools. Think of it like conducting an orchestra. The instruments are powerful, but someone still needs to understand the music. And many people feel behind in life because their path doesn't look linear. Maybe it goes from design to marketing, then psychology, then technology, then finance. On paper, that can look messy, but in a complex world, that kind of path might actually be preparation. Because the people who explored multiple domains are often the ones best positioned to understand complex systems. AI just gives them leverage. For decades, the system told us to choose one thing. But maybe the world is changing. The industrial era rewarded specialists. But the AI era might reward generalists who know how to work with machines. Not because they know everything, but because they can connect things. And if you've ever felt like your curiosity pulled you in too many directions, maybe you weren't unfocused. Maybe you were just early. Before I end this, I'm curious about your perspective. Do you think the future belongs to specialists or to generalists who know how to work with AI? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoy thinking about ideas like AI, psychology, investing, and how different disciplines connect, consider subscribing. That's what this channel will explore. And if you prefer reading, I also write deeper articles about these topics on Medium. Thanks for watching.